Pardon my face.
Oh man, we go live with another COFOH Live Undead, and I have a giant for.
I did that.
My name is Daniel Crosier. I'm the host of COFOH Live Undead, and I am here with some amazing guests tonight: stand-up comedian Dick Black and the amazing Jim Norris from Mutiny Cafe. But first.
You write something on my face.
Oh man, Jim, Dick, how are you guys? Uh-oh. Looks like your mic. There we go. I'll unmute that.
How come I can't turn it off?
Hey, Jim, looks like there you go.
Yep. How's that?
Good.
Good.
Dick, we just got a black bar. Uh-oh. Oh no. Okay. Well,
I think he fell down the stairs.
It seems like it. The light must be out.
Yeah, the power went out, and he fell down the stairs.
Dick, are you having problems? Or are you okay?
Yeah,
we can hear you.
Kinda.
Yeah, we hear the kids.
It's a little kid around.
Because
Hey, Dick, can you hear us? I guess not.
Five maybe.
Who is he?
All right, I'm muting his mic. Dick, let us know when you're ready to come on there, buddy. Jeez.
Yeah, that's good stuff.
It's the first show of the season. There's got to be technical problems. So
we're all a little frazzled today.
Yeah, today's incredibly frazzling. Jeez, this insurrection horse shit. What the hell is that?
This what?
The insurrection today.
Yeah, man, unbelievable, absolutely infuriating. We spent the wake up and reading the paper and figuring out that we're going to turn Georgia, then watching it just turn into rebel flags in the U.S. Capitol. Absolutely stunning. And then what a contrast of, intelligence between Biden's speech, his imploring Trump to do something, and Trump's recorded rebuttal, which was mostly one syllable.
Right.
A couple, maybe 1 or 2 3-syllable words, but it was 60 seconds, something like that. Hey, he's just an absolute liar. So then the second half of the day, like we were talking about earlier, was spent figuring out what the hell we gonna do. What are we gonna do?
Right. It's incredibly just infuriating. Yeah, seeing this insurrection by rioters. And being propelled by the words of 45. It's incredibly sad. And at the same time, I hate to say this, but I have to make that observation. The way they handle, law enforcement handles white rioters versus black protesters, is
never been more obvious than it was today. Never been more obvious than it was today. There's a great article that I think it was 2018 New York Times about that. The FBI investigation that started in 2016 about white supremacist infiltration of the police departments around the country, and it is stunningly. It'll scare the shit out of you. How deeply ingrained the white pride and white supremacist movement is in the police department. So watching, the Paul Blart or that young poor, the black security guard that was left with a nightstick to keep, 2,000 fucking rednecks away, absolute disgrace, that this is how we plan on doing things. You know, unbelievable.
Right.
So the people that are trying to guard that, you know, that were saying, why don't these guys stop it? Of course they're not going to stop it. That's their fucking cousin. That's their brother. That's their father. That's, you know, that's their whole family. And you couldn't get National Guard guys to show up because they're fucking in the crowd. The cops are in the crowd. You know, it's the same with Denver, man. There's fucking straight up guys with white pride tattoos on their fucking arm on the force, you know?
Right. The, you know, to that too, you know, some of the footage that we're seeing is, you know, the security forces inside the Capitol were just massively overwhelmed.
If it's that, if I had known it was that easy just to overwhelm the Capitol, or, you know, God forbid, now we've got terrorists, you know, foreign terrorists that supposedly are going to do something, you know, that can see how easy it is to just take over our government. Absolutely stunning. This is like you know, Revolutionary War, where you're rolling up on a 4-bedroom cabin and just overrun it. You know, this is the U.S. Capitol of, you know, supposedly democracy. Just disgrace. I just don't feel part of this.
Right. Yeah, me neither. I'm beside myself. Hi, Dick.
Hey, what's going on, Dan?
Perfect.
What's going on, Jim?
Hey, how are you? That sounds good. That sounds good.
Yeah, you sound tight, sir.
Yes, you do.
Thank you.
Yeah.
We made it.
Yep.
Yeah, sorry, we've already you know, gotten into it, but I'm glad you were able to figure things out over there.
Yeah, well, I mean, some bullshit went down today, and we showed the world just how fucking shitty America is.
Yep.
Right.
Absolutely horrible. What a fucking disgrace. Rebel flags in the fucking U.S. Capitol being waved. Guys getting their picture taken at senators' desks and stuff. Not that I have too much respect for senators ever. Again, you know, if I did now, but this is over. And these cowards, these fucking cowards like Mitch McConnell and Pence turning fucking back when it gets, you know, like that. You know, oh, hey, no, everything that we've been preaching and getting you all riled up about, now's not the time. You know, absolute bullshit.
Right, yeah. Take some responsibility. Take some ownership. You fucking did this shit. Undo it.
Yep.
Unfucking do it.
You know, we before you came on, Dick, we were talking about you know, Trump's speech versus Biden's speech today. You know, where Biden's speech was a literate appeal, you know, for, you know, peace, and, you know, this is not the way we're supposed to be, whatever America is anymore. And then Trump's was a recorded, you know, 60-second bizarre diatribe that says, okay, we're done for today, can you go home and we'll worry about it later, you know, like we've been doing with the racism stuff for years. I mean, and today was such a stark example of how bad it is. Unbelievable. I had no idea how systematic the racism was until watching guys take over the Capitol and not get shot, not get hit with a rubber bullet, not get killed or tased or tear gassed. They didn't even have the fucking National Guard out until, you know, after all the shit had gone down. And they knew it was coming. He was fucking stoking the crowd the whole time.
Now let me and a couple hundred colored people go up that route and see how many bodies are left in the mass.
There'd be no survivors. There'd be no survivors.
Fuck no, we'd be obliterated.
Nope.
Obliterated.
Yep.
Yeah. It's incredibly, you know, disheartening. This is one of those days, you know, like along with like 9/11 and D-Day, that's just going to, you know, live on in infamy. I noticed setting up for here, a number of you know, newspapers and magazines and institutions are calling for 45's removal. So.
Yeah, well, we've been doing that for 4 years, and this is like where my anger matches my helplessness. And you guys know I can handle my shit, you know. But I feel more helpless now because nothing will happen. It'll be just like, you know, when Obama and Pelosi had that first 2 years of the Obama presidency, and when they did nothing, they sat on their hands and they gave $1 trillion to banks rather than the people. You know, and then, I mean, I just have zero faith that anything will get done. You know, the Democrats will not prosecute. You know, they're all just going to roll over and be quiet. Biden, you know, Kamala's a cop. You know, I mean, whatever aside, she's on the police side. You know, and Biden was explicitly said that there would be no talk of defunding the police department. So we have a huge fight ahead of us, because now we've got these clear turds that we're dealing with that are in Washington. Plus, you know, all the people in charge are useless, old, white turds, man. You know,
shit's they gotta go.
Yeah.
They gotta go. We need a new. We need something.
Yeah. There's some great new people coming in there, but then they're balanced out with like Lauren Bonert from fucking Colorado, with a GED that she fucking paid for by, with dumb rappers, waving a Glock around for a bunch of QAnon racist fucking people, man. Never in my lifetime. I came up during Reagan, when, the beginning of where we are now is because of that fucking man.
Right.
So to see these people, I mean, when I was a young punk rocker, the skinheads were all over Denver, but there was like 18 of them, and we knew who they were. And if you saw them, you went away, and that was it. There was 18 of them. They all just came out and showed it. And now,
many.
50% of this country is racist shitbags.
Yeah,
that's just my own personal opinion.
We're fucked.
We're fucked. We're fucked.
To see that today was just a stark reminder of just how far we've lost who the fuck we were meant to be. I mean, when did it begin? Now that's the question. You say Reagan? I'd
say Reagan. Just that idea of trickle down economics, where rich people are more important than the masses. And if you just look at economic, money hoarding since then, why we have 10 trillionaires that run the world now. It used to be the conspiracy that 10 families ran the world. Well, that you don't need to see that. You've got Bezos with a trillionaire, and Elon Musk, and ego-driven fucking trillionaire, and they've gained more money off of us since we've been there. They just take it by bit by bit by bit.
That's unreal. So fucking real.
Yeah, it's today. Yeah, I mean, we've just got an event. It's It's pretty intense to witness.
I mean, but with like the solutions we talked about earlier is now the emphasis is on community. I mean, we can only affect what is directly around us. So, like Dan and I were talking about earlier, you make sure that the person next to you has a fucking coat. The person next to you has a fucking meal. The person next to you has shelter. The person next to you has security. That they know that in their neighborhood they're going to be fucking safe from whatever fucking shitbag comes around there. And when you get to watch your own stuff, then suddenly, we don't need the fucking police anymore because we can just take care of our own.
And that's the way it should be.
Right. And that's the way it was, I mean, communities took care of their own. There was a guy in charge, but he didn't sit around being a fucking cop all day.
No.
Right.
And then, the roots of local police. I mean, Dick, they were out to hunt slaves. If slaves escaped, that's why you had that. Otherwise, if you murdered somebody, we hung you. We hung you outside of town, and that's just how it went.
That's why that treatment that we received today is a direct reflection of yesterday.
Yeah. Unbelievable.
Why would they stop?
In 4 years, we went 50 years, 60 years in the past.
Right.
Almost all the way to Jim Crow laws, right?
Yeah, right around the turn of the century stuff, man. Just crazy ideas. I mean,
we weren't meant to be free. I mean, I tell people that all the time. It's unfortunate that they can't accept the fact that we are free and that we are contributing members to society. So why can't we just get the respect that everybody else that contributes?
Well, there seems to be a good chunk of the population. There's 35% of us that just seem to go about our business and enjoy each other's company. And it's a creative class. It's a multiracial. It's a LGQ. What I'm trying to say, but it's all inclusive. It's like everybody's part of it, and we're all on the same deal. We all care about the fucking environment. We all care about human rights and the First Amendment. If we have to believe in America at all, it's the First Amendment. It's the right for everybody to express their fucking opinion without being shot in the face with a rubber bullet or tear gassed or sued by the federal government for being a protester. Are you fucking kidding me? These kids in Aurora looking at federal time for protesting ICE?
Yeah. How does something like that even slip through the cracks?
I think that this year is unique. This year is unique, and we had the time to sit and think about it. With George Floyd, the beginning of the quarantine, we had to sit around and say, you know what? This is bad, All the fucking white people that sat around doing nothing, thinking about it, or watching TV, finally watching TV in the news because they have to. There's nothing else to do.
It's in your face.
That is injustice. That is right. And I think most people, I assume that they're good people. So when you're confronted with facts that this is how bad racism is, this is how bad fucking police in this fucking country are, then we can start moving toward things. And there's been experiments with defund the police, like in Brooklyn, where no 911 calls in 5 days. Because you set up community counselors, you set up crisis counselors, you make sure that your neighborhood has food, shelter, and safety.
I agree. Yep, that's the way it should be.
Yeah.
I mean, for the fact that cops come and escalate things to the extreme, and usually if it's a person of color, they will potentially lose their life. To know that exists, that's crazy. It's what can you do? I mean, for me, that just makes it harder for me to go out and enjoy what everybody else gets to enjoy. Yeah, because man. I don't want that potential interaction with law enforcement. You know what I'm saying? So, how do we get that assurance that we can live our lives without the fear of a traffic stop turning into a funeral?
Right.
How do I get to be a productive member of society and feel safe in the same community that I helped build?
Right.
And it's sad. Like, I mean, again, today,
I thought as humans we'd be farther.
I'm sorry?
I thought as humans, I thought that my children would be in a state where this wouldn't be an issue, that we would be done with this fucking idea because other parts of the world seem to make it happen. Why can't we as a country?
I just think at the end of the day, and the sad thing is, even if you have money, you're not necessarily, above racism. I mean, you're getting called a nigger in probably the nicest neighborhood, but at the same time, it doesn't change the fact that somebody's still calling you that. You know what I mean?
Right. And you still have to look over your shoulder if you're pulled over.
Absolutely.
Or doing whatever. I mean, a life of having to constantly look over your shoulder. And what the people in charge, the old white guys in charge have never had to look over their charge. They've never had to be a girl walking through a parking lot with her fucking keys in her hand, worried that she's going to get fucking raped by every man that looks at her, or any person of color, that gets pulled over by any police department anywhere, that you don't feel comfortable that you could travel to Montana or Utah or fucking Idaho, all these amazing, beautiful places that I can roll into because I look fucking, I'm super white, have zero issue. When I was after privilege. Right. And it's like examples of that.
It's really unfortunate that the horror of real life really does overshadow the horror of fiction.
Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, I've been reading comic books since I was 12, and I've never read a story this fucking bizarre. V for Vendetta was close. Watchmen was close. Martha Stewart Goes to Washington was probably the closest. So even the most advanced creative minds of the 80s and 90s, that saw what was coming with Reagan and trickle down and the treatment of the fucking lower class. Now to me, I mean, racism's real, but if we could eliminate these class issues, that everybody has the same access to education, everybody has the same access to jobs and employment, all these things,
healthcare.
Right.
I mean, there's so much discrimination, it's unreal. I mean, granted, the other day I went in and got some Quiznos right down the street from where I live, and I walk in. Granted, I'm wearing sweatpants. It's owned by some Asians. I didn't know that. I walk in and they like, "What do you want?" And I'm like,
"A sandwich."
"I'm here for a pickup." And they're like, "Come over here." So I go over there. Meanwhile, 2 other people walk in like, "Hi, how are you doing today? How can I help you?" And I'm like,
"Yeah."
Oh, well, the best way on that is like, vote with your dollar. And I'm telling you through this whole deal that, I mean, as far as like, businessmen with consciousness in this city stay in communication. And, it's like, if you're a fucking shitty racist businessman, just tell somebody, never spend your dollar again, and tell somebody that's like a socially conscious business, so when people ask me for advice about where should I get a print shop done, where should I get a t-shirt done, where should I get these things done, where should I get, a plumber or whatever, get the right person. And like a question to ask now as a fucking white person is like, you got any white pride people on your crew? If you're going to come and remodel my house, if you're going to come and do whatever for me, I think it's a legitimate question. Did you vote for Trump twice? And if you say yes, I'm not doing business with you. And I will encourage other people not to do business with you.
Right.
I
agree. You have the right to say, hey, look, and I think that's we got to start getting down to that. And I think you're right.
Yep. And spend your money local. Don't spend it at Walmart. Spend it with fucking local people.
I agree.
All right.
Yeah, pay that $1 more just to get a key made versus going to
right.
Walmart where you buy something and you get the keys made for free. You know what I mean? Something like that. Yeah, I
Yep.
agree. We need more of that.
Community.
Yes.
Start making
So
shit
much
here in America,
community.
too.
So,
I mean, stop just buying shit from China shit. Let's make
Yep.
shit here. Yeah, it's gonna cost
yeah.
more, but that dollar is gonna circulate here in America.
Yeah,
it's
man.
gonna make the dollar that much stronger.
Right.
So
just I say I don't know. The federal government, I mean, what are they doing for us now? Why would I give them money for war, not giving us anything back, no health insurance, take all the money from us? It's like, I don't think that that's a legitimate need for that anymore, and I think states. So if you want to be a racist, you can go down to a racist state, live in a racist state. And I don't want to do business with that fucking state. It's like, why am I going to go down to Florida? I don't want to go down to Florida anymore. I don't want to go down to Arkansas unless it's going to slap somebody in the face,
Right.
Oh, wow. I think we covered a lot of ground.
All right. Well, we can lighten it up, but I've been drinking green tea all day and I'm feeling great.
Yeah. Well, today's just
green leaf.
insane intent for everybody. So it's it's just insane. It's unfathomable and it's very surreal.
Yeah.
To that too, like we've been living, in a very surreal time during the pandemic.
Oh, unbelievable.
And I know, you guys like, Jim, you've got Mutiny Cafe, you've been keeping that afloat. Dick, you've been, working on, keeping the family together, keeping everything going, doing stand up and everything.
Show here and there.
Excellent.
I can't wait to do shows again, man.
I know it's, with that, what's been, probably the biggest hurdle for you, keeping things going during this time?
Sanity, man.
Try
not to just wig out and run down the street.
Right.
Because Dick has it now too. I have, it's being a dad's a responsibility, and I'm a dad for not just my beautiful daughter and my amazing son. I'm a dad for a crew of people that Matt and I try to keep in business or employed, and try to stand up for the right stuff. It's been the hardest time ever to be doing anything, let alone to even think that we should be accomplishing anything this year other than social change.
Surviving,
maintaining the platform, maintaining our home turf, if you will.
Yep.
Our home field. So.
And Dan, you've done great with this. It's been amazing, the people that you've got involved with it. These interviews have been fantastic. I mean, I've probably listened to 5 or 6 of them, but I keep track of what you're up to. And I mean, you've fully embraced the idea of not talking to people face to face.
I'm in my own little latex.
You got it going on there, buddy.
Yeah, it's just like that. Some of my guests are like, "What's that made out of?" This is Bill.
Is that the flesh wall?
This is Ted. Well, it's pretty close to being the flesh wall. Same material, liquid latex, cast liquid latex. But yeah, it's the whole reason I do this, now in this format is, to keep in touch with friends and to have interesting people on. Because if I find them interesting, hopefully the audience out there will find them interesting as well. And then this is that horror platform that we've been keeping going, and we do live in horrifying times.
I know. Like, so what's scary now? I've been getting this because now the bar's been set so high with fucking real life that I've been getting into like Asian horror, whatever. Like, there's a couple of new series on Netflix that are pretty groovy, that are just surreal. I'm not sure. Well, there's that one, something in Alice in Borderland. I started that, and that's crazy. And then there's one along the same lines called I can't remember, but I'm halfway through that because I can't figure out what's going on, man. Suddenly there's like a grudge ghost coming out, and then it's like a super cute girl farting and then something else, and
Huh.
it's crazy. But it's good. It's terrifying. It's like every nightmare you've ever had brought to vision, but just thrown at you with an Asian, storyline.
Girls farting is one of them. I'll tell you that right now.
Yeah.
That's some scary shit, man.
Yeah. Dick, what have you been, watching, to keep things going?
Fuck. Queen's Gambit.
Yeah, I've been waiting to dip into it because I've been missing playing chess face to face.
I play probably 20, 30, 40 games a day.
I'm just playing the computer now because you depressed me because you beat me so much.
Yeah.
I just stopped playing you because my ego couldn't take it anymore.
Nice. Yeah, Elise and I have gotten into Queen's Gambit. We absolutely love it.
Yeah.
I think it's a lot of fun. Jim, you and I were talking about Color from Outer Space.
That was groovy. God, those are so good. Like, I know, Dan, you're kind of straight edge, but I've done a lot of drugs in my life. And that movie and Mandy are fucking brilliant. They capture, like, tripping. That scene in Mandy where Nicolas Cage is in the bathroom chugging that stuff. That's like fucking, that's, dude, the guy that directed Shining kind of stuff, man. It's just absolutely, I mean, I think it's even got the
it's very surreal.
Yeah, he just chugs that booze and he's just fucking full on Nicolas Cage. And then the next one I've only watched Super High twice, so I'm still not sure what I'm watching, but it's beautiful. It's just shot so well, and that's
awesome.
I'm gonna have to give you guys recommendations because I mean I want to watch some scary shit.
Yeah.
I would like to see a show about real life shit, like your lights get turned off, your car gets repoed, like with scary music and shit, music from Jaws. Where you go home, open the door, the fucking lights are shut off, it's fucking night. You're like, what the fuck?
You step in a pile of dog shit.
Oh.
You got no paper towels. You wake up hungover out of toilet paper.
Your girl's fucking some other dude. You're like,
oh damn!
I didn't think you were gonna be home this early.
TMC Music gave a shout out from the UK. They say hello.
Oh, hey, what's up, buddy?
TMC?
I watched all the Friday the 13th again. That was great.
I want to get that. I got the video game, but I want to do that too. Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty good. Some of it, the one in space. I don't know if I made it through that one.
Jason
in space. Jason X.
Oh, is that what that one is? Jason X?
I think it's 10. Yeah.
He was frozen, wasn't he?
Yeah.
It becomes like an action figure.
Yeah, he had like a Nike Air Mask face.
Yeah.
And shit,
Right.
Like the Tracy McGrady's and shit. Like, what the fuck? Are you a fucking villain or are you a fucking basketball player? Get the fuck out.
It was too much. I didn't make it through that one, but all the rest were okay.
Nice. Well, you've got those TV shows too. The Friday the 13th TV show, Nightmare on Elm Street TV show. Those were in the 90s.
Really?
Yeah, you could probably watch them on Amazon Prime.
Well, I'm gonna. I watched that.
I'm gonna need to borrow your password.
Fuck Bezos and fuck all that shit. I share all passwords, man, for anything.
I got passwords.
We'll do that on the DM. Yep.
Let's do this.
Nice. Have a little watch party.
Yeah, dude. Fuck these guys, man.
I got Crunchyroll. You ready? Let's trade.
Nice. Yeah, I think we did that on Christmas Day for Wonder Woman 1984 on HBO Max.
How was that?
How was it?
I like it. It's not that great of a movie, but I mean, I'm a DC, fanboy. So even when it's bad, I'm gonna enjoy it. And I
don't know about that anymore, man.
They gotta get their shit together,
They
really do.
Marvel is on fire. Marvel is nailing all their stuff. They're doing like a series on Mephisto. They're doing all these crazy stuff. Movies on Mephisto, digging deeper into these secondary characters.
Yep.
Right. Yeah, they I mean they haven't been able to release anything this, for 2020. But I'm looking forward to all that too.
But putting like all the Marvel stuff that got released with Disney this year, so everybody is fully caught up on every storyline on everything. So
you can.
It makes them want to dig deeper into these storylines, which is like why Venom is so much more fun than the last 5 Spider-Man movies.
Right.
You like the latest Venom? You like that one?
It was all right.
I've
watched it a bunch, but I fell asleep every time.
Yeah.
So maybe it's not that great.
I like Tom.
I love especially that part where he's jumping the motorcycle and he's riding up and he like pops up. That's one of my nightmares I have on a regular basis. Is that exact same thing? Except I don't survive.
Right, that's anxiety and shit.
Yeah, very much.
I don't have that as much anymore now that I'm working on divorce number 2. My anxiety just dropped like that, man.
Yeah, you got it, man. You got to put that shit in the basement.
Damn right. I've never been happier, man. This is. I hate to rub it in during the pandemic, but
Shit, I've been single. It'll be 10 years in March. I've been single for 10 years. I couldn't be happier. I mean, I'm not saying I don't want love.
I'm not single. I have an awesome lady now, but
I can't.
Yeah, you do, Jessica.
Yeah, she's amazing.
Even better, man. I mean, she's out there, but I mean, I guess right now I'm just trying to get a few ducks in a row.
You got to work on number 1 first. You got to make sure that you're worthy to even offer yourself to another person. If you're, I mean, why would you want to throw yourself out there if you're not good enough to give to somebody else?
I agree.
Yeah.
Looks like Leah said she liked that one, but nobody else did. I think she's referring to Wonder Woman.
Yeah.
1984.
Why 1984?
The first one was great.
Yeah, the first one was fantastic. That's
unbelievable. It was like top stuff, man.
Yeah. The second one they put it in 1984. Because.
Was Linda Carter in it?
1984 then.
Yeah, Linda Carter has a cameo in it. Yeah, sure. That's a great part of the movie.
She's awesome.
The supporting cast is great. The villains are good, but as far as I can tell, like the story is kind of laxed. Some of the effects and the editing is a little bit laxed.
Yeah, I'll watch it. I'll watch them all.
Gal Gadot was kind of I mean, it was more about Diana Prince than really Wonder Woman.
I don't want to know about that. What do I want to know about your alter ego for? Who you're not. The whole movie based on who you're not. It's like the Clark Kent story. I never watched Kent do anything.
Leah says
Bruce Wayne just walking around being rich.
Buying shit, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, just Bruce Wayne waking up hungover and going to buy a fucking new Jaguar. And then he goes out and beats up, poor people at night.
Right. Go buy a new Jaguar. It's like, hey, Bruce Wayne, why don't you invest in the infrastructure of Gotham City?
Right, man. Start a food share program or something.
Oh, hey, Jim, Jessica just chimed in. Did you watch the Nurse Ratched series?
Ooh, that was good. I watched it with you, Jessica. That was really good. I loved the way that was shot too. Whatever that lady that was in, she was in all the American Horror Stories and stuff too. She's great.
Right. Sarah Paulson.
Yeah, she's creepy as hell, man. She's creepy.
Yeah. I think that one we only got like 2 episodes in, and then we went back and watched One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest.
Yeah, it doesn't really tie into the universe as much as it doesn't.
No, it seems like a departure.
Yeah, because it gets a little like esoteric, and even like further on, it's like not. It's not what Ken Kesey wrote.
Well, and I think that's like to like Ryan Murphy's credit, like that's just how him and his team seem to write and produce their shows. I'm not a big fan. But the one, the Nurse Ratched from One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. Yeah. Nuanced, subtle. Oh yeah. Terrifying.
That movie's one of the rare examples of both of them are equally amazing. Like the book is slanted different. It's through the Indian's eyes, watch and check. But the movie is also equally brilliant. My mom made me watch that when I was like 10. So I mean, it was like. Because it was that like the Geraldo Rivera interviews were like what 69 or 72 in upstate New York about the mental institutions. American Horror Story, when they do the asylum, they duplicate the footage that of when Geraldo Rivera went in and interviewed these disgusting.
Yeah.
It led to all the changes and shut down all these things. Cropsey goes into that movie Cropsey, which is a scary fucking movie, but it's true,
Jeez, man.
Have you guys watched Cropsey?
No, I haven't.
Oh, you should both watch it. It's a documentary, but it's creepy. It's like serial killers and crime story stuff, and I love that stuff.
Yeah, I've been interviewing people that do like paranormal investigations, and they go into some of these shut down asylums, and they talk about their experiences, but just the aura of walking into a place like that where people might not have been treated very well.
Oh, horrible. Like chain the radiators with no clothes because they're autistic, that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
That's crazy. I mean, that's
man.
Why?
It's so
cool, man.
But that's one of those things, tie it back into what we were talking about earlier, that, people saw it. They saw Geraldo walk in there with a secret camera and show you this horrible, horrible scene. And then boom, man, everything changed. You called your congressman. That's what I did right after my initial shock today was I went online and I used all caps with every criticism for, Diana DeGette, Ken Buck, hit up. I mean, I don't know how much good Hickenlooper and those guys are going to do with the House of Reps right now, but, get online and harass your fucking senator. Harass him. What the fuck are you going to do? Harass the Democrats. This is your shot. Now you got all this stuff. Now you can fucking take care of it. Put your money where your mouth is and take care of the fucking people. Stay on them. What happened is you get complacent white people again, where it's like it's not convenient for them to be into it anymore, but nothing has changed. Nothing has changed. We've won a few cases here and there, but with the Denver Police Department, we got outvoted and they got their fucking raises anyway. It's like, so we got to stay on top of our local politicians. And right now, the Denver City Council has got some really good people, and I follow all the city council newsletters, and that's free. So you get an idea of what these people are. You get an idea of who their constituents are in their neighborhoods. And Denver's really varied right now. So, the crazy people in West Wash Park are different than the intelligent, common sense people right here in the Baker area.
Yeah. Oh, that also kind of brings to mind to deviate just a little bit.
Sure. I'll come back to the fucking enraging part later.
Yeah, most definitely. Yeah. But some of that like local folklore, that you see, come around, some of the horrible things that have happened around here. I was talking to director Corey Maccabee a couple of days ago. Yeah, he did the American Astronaut black and white space western musical movie.
Of course.
And he was developing a film around the idea of death and Abraham Lincoln. He was the last president that his funeral was paraded around the country.
Oh yeah, like his body was dragged around for weeks, right?
Right. It was several weeks, and every time they made a stop, they had to keep doing something to preserve the body, and they really got into embalming fluids. That was the last president that they did that because he was decomposing fast.
Wow.
It was a warm time of the year. So then they're like, this is pretty garish. Let's not do this.
Yeah, man.
And I keep hearkening back to like the days of like Cheeseman Park where they moved. I think it was like one guy was hired to move the bodies and he didn't really do it. And
it was a company, and then he just like grabbed a few so he could show that he grabbed the bones and then just covered it all up.
Right.
Phil Goodstein is a local historian. Everything he does is amazing. So he's a good one to look into or get his books. There's a bookstore in town that carries his books. It's called Mutiny.
Cool.
But he does like, the seamy side of Denver, the great one about this neighborhood here. It's a lot of fact regurgitation, but a lot of it is, your creativity fills in the blank. Like a local folklore thing that I would like to know more about personally is the building right across the street over here, like at 2 North Ellsworth. Apparently, I know that there's a really cool venue at the first basement. So when you drop about 10 feet, there's a really cool, like it would be great for comedy or, small stuff. but they're not going to do anything with it. But apparently there's a basement underneath that there's an old, from when the place was built, an old pool that people partied in the 80s. I keep thinking to ask Andrew Novick about it, but I've never personally been in there, but I've heard it's there for numerous people. And I would love to go down there because I've heard that there was like crazy footage shot for different, just weird shit, like back then it would be like Psychic TV Crew or.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
That would be pretty neat. Yeah.
So that one, if there's anybody listening or would, if it comes up in conversation, I would love to know about the pool underneath North Broadway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That would be pretty interesting. Yeah. Dick, when you're going around to all these different clubs, doing stand up, do you ever I keep thinking Comedy Works downtown, that I wonder what that would have been, what that building was like, like 50, 60 years ago, and its secret history. Do you ever run into stuff like that?
I can't say that I really do. I mean, I would definitely like to know the story of, Comedy Works. I don't know exactly how what that place used to be, if it was, always the way it is, but
as long as I can remember. I mean, I remember Roseanne Barr, ads for Roseanne Barr there when I was a kid, so I mean, that's way back, long before,
back in the 80s?
Yeah, she started her career here. So
yeah. That's what she did. I mean, I heard she decimated the scene. Like when she left, she took everybody with her. Tim Allen was a regular in Denver. She took all those guys, and then there wasn't anybody left. That's why it took so long, and we had to wait for Dick Black to come along and make this town funny.
Yeah,
here I am. Let's do this. Hell yeah! I love doing comedy. I'm so grateful to be back. It is, man. It's so fun.
I miss it so much.
Yeah, Dick. Are you working on any new material?
Fuck yeah.
Excellent.
But I got to be careful at these open mics. I just want to get comfortable being on stage again. I'm not going to be dropping any gems at these mics because this is my shit.
Yeah.
I want to try to
save it up for the half-hour sets, man. Save it up for the half-hour sets. Yeah, man.
Really?
And there's going to be a lot. There's going to be a lot of good stuff coming up. As far as like what I do and watching how things go, and you can argue whether things were safe or not or whatever. But I've watched in the comedy scene. There hasn't been too much illness. There's been these, socially conscious, the socially distant places that are set in alleys in the middle of nowhere, and everybody's doing their part. It's been the one art form besides, writing and art, which I'm hoping that there's going to be some good stuff coming. But the one art form, the live entertainment art form that's kept going through the whole pandemic, that you've been, and I love him or hate him, but Mike C's always out here every day practicing his 45-minute sets, selling me zines, and that's legit. He's not breaking any laws. He's got his mask on, and the ones that I've seen done, the stuff that Ben's doing downtown in that alley and stuff. I mean, that's it's safe, and you get to sit and watch somebody to talk, do comedy in front of you. And it's going to be a while before the nationals start coming back on any level. I mean, AEG Live Nation are, late 2021. I mean, they'll try to milk as much money out of you as they can, but bands aren't ready to tour. And just because everybody wants to tour does not mean that everybody's going to be able to go out and get any gigs, because most of the places have closed down. So you're either going to have to start reestablishing your local community scene, which is going to have to happen in Denver, that, getting bands to play out again, and not everybody's going to get to play because all the venues are gone. And with comedy, same deal. But the resilience of comedy and how much it's blown up in this town is absolutely incredible. It's been, for me, from doing all the different things I've promoted over the years, the last 4 years, 5 years has been my favorite thing I've done, because I get to be around intelligent, creative, liberal people that their whole job is to show up and have fun and make you laugh.
That's it.
Not sing you a sad song, not make you raise your fist or run around the pit or punch somebody. It's just to make you laugh, or at least make you think. Yep.
And if we can do that, then we're doing we're doing our job. I mean, at the end of the day, we just want to, between comedy and music, those are the two things that speak to people's souls. That's what gets people up and going.
Yep. It's that, that somebody else can verbalize or visualize or, oralize your thoughts or your feelings, and that's what resonates with comedy. I think, it's that finally somebody puts together, those 25 or 180 words that describe exactly how you felt at a moment, or, describe something so bizarre in your life that it becomes a common experience. And we are all humans, so.
We all are. We all got our own stories. If you think about it, every human being you come in contact with is a walking hard drive of life experiences.
Yep.
If you think about that, it doesn't matter how old you are. You could be 5 years old, and you could sit that child down and ask that kid everything it's ever been through. Your favorite toy. All the way down to you like peas. You know what I mean? And they're going to tell you everything you need to hear. And that's everybody you come in contact with. Not everybody has a good story. And it's like, more often than not, we're going to run people that don't have, good stories.
Right. And that's what happens a lot, especially when you're dealing with the public. When I used to run the clubs, we'd hire fire department and the cops to do, like when I did the Ogden or the Bluebird. So I spent a lot of time with some of the police and ambulance drivers and firemen. And I used to ask them, early on, like, hey, what's the worst story what's the worst story? Like asking a fireman what's the worst thing he's ever seen on the job is a mistake. Do not, or an ambulance driver.
Right.
Suddenly you're going to hear a story that is beyond horror. Again, reality is much terrifying. And it's you don't want to hear it, and these guys live that every day.
Every day.
Right. Yeah.
Every day.
Yep. The fire department in particular, cops, they're just there to document the scene. But fire department, ambulance drivers, those guys deal with the real shit. Man.
Yeah, they do.
Right.
Yep.
Cops usually the reason why it's there.
Right? Yeah, dude. Yeah, exactly.
We already know.
One of the things too, I witnessed today, and it's the first time I've ever seen this, was a car engulfed in flames driving down 225.
Oh, God, dude.
This was after the news report of the insurrection and everything, and then I was like, yep, fuck this day.
Yep.
What kind
Holy
of car
shit.
was it?
It was it looked like I think it was a sedan.
You don't know what make and model?
No, it was getting off the highway at Iliff.
It's probably a Pontiac.
Probably. Whoever was driving it,
damn Pontiac.
side of their car was filling up with smoke and barreling at the back. So, by the time they got off the ramp, it's just like, you see this out of the corner of your eye, like, what the fuck?
Yeah, exactly.
Wow.
And it's just like, and your first thing is this horrifying thing is happening in Washington. It's just like, yep, we're definitely living in an alternate realm. The color from outer space is definitely real.
Yeah.
We're all infected with some kind of spore.
This country is tainted.
Yeah, it's just ridiculous.
When I was 16, I just got my license, and I was driving my parents' old pickup truck, which had like a fire extinguisher and a toolkit, had all that stuff in the pickup truck. But I was 16, and I roll up on this guy in the country, and his car's on fire. Just like catching on fire through he's got his hood open, there's fire, and I pull up, and I'm like, well, can I help you? And I totally forgot the air conditioner or the fire extinguisher was there. And he was like a guy in a suit, clearly had no clue. Like, well, I'll give you a ride to your house, So we stared at it for a second, and he got in my car, and then I drove him like the 2 miles to his house, and we just left his car there on fire. When I could have saved that guy's day, then as soon as I dropped him off, I realized that I had a fire extinguisher, and I maybe could have helped.
Did you drive back?
Oh, no, dude, it was a nice car.
Like, oh well.
I was driving a pickup truck. Yeah, he'll get another one. But I hadn't thought about that in a long time, Dan.
That's funny. Like,
It's great.
I have a fire extinguisher. But anyways, that'll be $5 gas. You got money?
He's home safe.
Yeah. It's got insurance for that shit, man.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Oh man, that's pretty intense. With with all this time too, have you guys been able to find any new horror novel or anything inspiring?
I've been reading comic books.
Cool.
Yeah, there's been all the Joe Hill stuff has been fantastic. It's a whole new era in horror comics. It's absolutely fantastic. And then there's like that new one, Scumbag. I don't know if you guys have read that one. Fucking hilarious. It's hilarious. Yeah, it's called Scumbag, and it's like some guy. I don't have issue 1, but I have 2 and 3, and he's got some power in him. But all he wants to do is fucking get high and party and have sex. But he's got some super smoking hot agent chick that's trying to protect him. It's really cool. And then there's one called Post Americana, which is a lot like what we're going to be dealing with in 5 years from now. Just that. It's dark.
Wow.
Yeah, but there's some good horror comics and stuff out there. That's what I've been reading.
Shit, I just looked over the events of 2020.
That is terrifying reading.
Yep.
I did it backwards and forwards. You know?
Right. It didn't get any better either way.
No.
Even going backwards, it's like, wow. Then you
color coded or something, or put it up and see which one gets thrown out to the furthest.
Like, I'm gonna go have another drink. Yeah, actually, I purged all my liquor too.
Good man.
Yeah,
good. Nice.
Yep, that's great.
Speaking of the purge,
I can't stop. I mean, if anybody brings it up, that's the best thing that's ever happened to me. And this is my second try. I did 5 years the first time, but this one, I just did 4 years. It was New Year's Day, so.
Oh, congrats! Wow.
Yeah. Everything's better without booze, man.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm starting to see that.
Yeah, it's if you picture your brain as a sponge, alcohol's gross, man.
Just soaking it up.
Yeah.
That's why I do coffee.
Yeah, coffee and weed is for me.
I do indulge in tequila, but that's just because that's an upper.
Yeah, that's a drug. That's different.
Yeah.
but I had my problem with that drug too, man. Tequila. I mean,
oof.
I got enough rage. I got enough rage in me. You guys didn't see me storming around at 3 a.m. on the block on the Hornitos high,
Right.
Dan, you were been asleep for hours.
True. I would have been asleep. Yeah, these days my sleep pattern is 8:30 at night to 3 a.m. I'm asleep.
Yeah.
And then I get up and I get to work. Do creative stuff and draw and whatever.
Hell yeah.
I wake up in a panic about sunrise.
Oh, well,
And then it's all good.
Angry.
Trying to cut back on Facebook in the last few months, and it's made a big difference. There's a lot of negativity there too. It's like, and mainly it's just everybody expressing their displeasure with how things are. And I've purged most any dissenting thought from mine. So it's like, well, some days I wake up, I just can't be mad that day. I just try to skip it. I want to hang out with my daughter. I want to hang out. I really enjoy my job. I really enjoy the people I work with. I really enjoy, my customers. There's a lot good to be had in the world. And what I've told people dealing with, alcohol addiction and things like that over the years is that, no matter how bad your day is, a sunset is beautiful and a sunrise is even more beautiful, if you only have 2 points during the day that you can look forward to those 2 points a day, and then just try to fill in the rest of the blanks, the other 18 hours or whatever it has to be. But, in this era, stay busy with whatever it is. People doing puzzles, writing poems, people doing crazy, awesome recordings, the podcast. I mean, I think this is the dark before our renaissance as far as a creative culture.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The light's about to go out.
Yeah.
Definitely. I don't have any idea what the new world's going to look like. But,
no clue. I mean, this is beyond where we even could have,
fathomed.
Yeah, that's the word. Yeah. I mean, I'm speechless every day.
Yeah.
It's been for a long time, but the sheer fact that we elected Trump in the first place, I mean, and then just being so exposed to the police violence.
It's just unreal how today will go down as probably one of the worst days in American history.
Yep.
It is. It definitely is. Yeah.
How do you allow people like that to penetrate the most powerful place in the free world.
Right. And these are hillbillies. These aren't intelligent people. You know, these aren't smart guys. You know?
They're the ones that said, "Where's
Right.
my money?
And they
Where's my money?"
and like
Going to the White House.
if you were listening, they're playing Macho Man, you know, that's YMCA stuff. They were playing Michael Jackson stuff. It's
They're
like,
no village
are you
people.
just so oblivious to it? You know,
Where's my
Very
money?
much so.
Where's
Where's it?
they took our jobs.
Yeah, they're a bad South Park stereotype.
Fucking
But I think, you know, going forward, you know, like again, the majority of people are really good people. People want the same things, and we all want the same things. You know, I want to be loved, and I want to be warm, and I want to be fed, and those are basic things. You know, so if we just approach each other with those basic attitudes, and then you know that we're all equal. You know, we're all humans, human. You know,
Right.
so yeah. I think that you know the 35 or 40% of us, if we work together and work together concertedly and encourage each other, not discourage people when they're trying to do anything, you know, creative or positive for what's around you. If it's not your thing, it's not your thing. But don't discourage people from trying to make the world a better place. You know, don't call people out for hypocrisy, even if they're trying to do the right thing. There has to be retribution for whatever you were in the past. You know, going forward, we need to have anybody that's willing to be on board with this social change and the way we're going to deal with, you know, these evil people that have, you know, 50% of our population. I mean, this is 50% of the people you deal with are this bad. You know, they voted for Trump. So we need to turn those hearts and minds, you know, with common sense and treating each other with
show love,
common sense.
compassion.
Yeah.
I mean, we don't need to beat them with a stick. That's not going to do anything. It'll help get some aggression out, but it's not going to change anything.
Right.
We need to
we need to hit these people with love.
Well, I think that there should be, you know, there should be some sticks here and there.
Accountability.
You know?
I mean, some people do got to get their ass whooped, but I'm just saying. You know,
because some people don't understand any other language other than a slap.
But a stick, like, or you know, or you know, a boot
Yeah.
to the face. Yeah,
Right.
you're right.
I mean, yeah. So
Sometimes
I mean,
you gotta
and things don't change unless there's some sort of violent revolution. You know, I mean, nobody's going to come to the table if it doesn't inconvenience the people in charge. You know,
You can't have conflict. You can't have.
I think it was like LBJ or Kennedy when he had Martin Luther King come talk to him at the White House. He goes, "Well, at least I'm not dealing with the Black Panthers, or at least I'm not dealing with Malcolm X." You know, because but Martin Luther King never would have been invited to the White House if there hadn't been the rabble rousers throwing the bricks in the first place. You know, to make the establishment scared. You know, and it's important that the establishment stay scared. And what like Mitch McConnell and Pence and these people are finding is that we can bully them with the internet. We can bully them with our own, because we're smarter than they are. We're smarter than the Proud Boys. We're smarter than the hillbillies. We're better, smarter people. So, you know, keep sending Mitch McConnell Venmo requests, you know, find Lindsey Graham where he lives and paint, "Where's my money?" on Lindsey Graham's house, you know, and whoever did Nancy Pelosi's graffiti and, you know, masked off the brick. Yeah, dude, that's really nice stuff. That's a professional graffiti guy, you know. So whoever did Nancy's place, you know, head over to Chuck Schumer's place. Head back over to Nancy's place. You know, I'm sure she's got it masked off and ready for you again. And keep these people aware of who they fucking work for, man.
Right.
You know,
don't get the brick, you asshole.
Yeah, I was like, she's so shady anyway, and to see that, it's like, come on, dude.
She probably did it herself.
She did it herself. Of course, she did it herself. Dude, it's like, you know, it's not even like, I'm familiar with the anarchy symbol, you know, I am, and how easy it is to throw up. And that one's like, I don't know, it was planned out, maybe, I don't know. She hired an outside agitator to paint that.
Fuck,
you know?
yeah, that could have been a
Dad stencils.
Yeah, stencils. That's what I mean. To mask it off and not get the brickwork. That's
Right.
crazy, dude.
She had a graphic.
Yeah, she did.
Guys,
my place up, but don't get the brick.
Yeah. And he was a person of color for sure. You know,
Oh, you know he was.
Yeah.
That was probably Gerald or some shit. Gerald.
Don No Soul Wilson.
Fucked up, man.
After today, and this being you know, a new year, you know, what things are you guys looking forward to doing, to getting back to, even though we're still limited?
Comedy. I just want to do. I mean, get myself in a position where I get comedy, maybe figure out how to do this online karaoke thing. But I really just want to just get in touch with people, because I mean, I feel like we've just been so isolated and so distant from one another that even if we have an online presence, that could still feed the soul.
Yeah.
Because man, I mean, for a minute there, I was able to drive for Lyft, and it's just being able to have a conversation with another human being in the same freaking space is worth more than the $3 or however much I received for the ride. It was just like, I want to feel that sense of aliveness again, and that's the best way to do it is probably through
human interaction, real human interaction. Yeah, I mean,
because I do keep to myself.
I've been lucky with that. Having this, and it's why we cut the hole in the window so I could hang out the window and yell at people through my soapbox. I mean, the hardest thing for me is that I used to hug the people that are dear to me, and now those days are over. I'm not touching you fuckers anymore.
I am a filthy bastard, that's for sure.
I got Lysol.
I got this free candle today that smells like Right Guard. You remember aerosol Right Guard, Dick?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it smells exactly like that. I keep fucking trying to smell who the teenage boy is around that's like wearing Right Guard. It's this candle I got.
Do they even?
That's just a side note there. I don't know. I haven't even thought about it. It was my first deodorant.
Wow.
And that's why the polar bears have nowhere to stay anymore.
Feel the Right Guard.
Yeah, my teenage armpits.
I remember there was a saying. It was like, "You're so funky." Right Guard took a left turn. Or something.
That's awesome.
But you think about how that doesn't even make sense. Right Guard and left turn.
Yeah, but it flows.
It flows. Yeah.
Haiku.
It doesn't have to make sense.
Right. That's the thing. People get mad enough that you want to fight, so you cut somebody deep. But,
right.
I will never forget that Right Guard joke, though. But,
that's a good one.
Hey guys, thanks so much for coming on the show.
Sure. I'm almost out of batteries.
Oh, that's okay. Obviously, today, Raw Nerve, it's a great time that to come together, vent a little bit, talk a little bit about this, and just share that disdain with the public.
Don't stop being angry. That's the whole thing. Don't stop being angry. Nothing's accomplished yet. This is not. I mean, we need to get that $1 trillion back from Bezos first.
Right. True.
And then get the other $1 trillion back from Elon and everybody else that stole it from us. Stole it from these people, and then that we have to argue for $1.87 a day or $1.34, whatever fucking $600 works out to. That they that millionaires fucking can bicker about whether or not they're going to give us $2,000.
Shit, the church has got money.
Man. Yeah, the church doesn't pay taxes,
and they got money.
Yeah. Well, we'll attack the church next time. I got a couple special guests we can bring on to attack the church.
Yeah.
Nice. Oh God.
Right. Heaven on earth is at Joel Osteen's house. Shit.
Yeah, did you just see that thing? And he got what, $14 million of that PPE money that he doesn't have to pay back. Why would a church get that money? Why the fuck would a church get that money?
It's for businesses. He put that money in collection plates and still had him take it up to the altar.
Yeah, like people just like you're offering to a fucking. Oh God, I hate him so much. All right, I'm going. I love you guys, but I gotta go.
All right,
thanks,
take
Dan.
care, guys.
Thanks, Nick. I can't wait to see you both in person.
Now that I know that you're open, I'll be coming to visit.
Yeah, come down and say hey. I'm not behind the counter as much. I hide in back, and I fucking listen to angry music. So come back and talk to me in the back, okay?
Hell yeah, I'll be in there because I need some books.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, all right. And I've been carrying a bunch of new great stuff. Lots of really cool, lots of great anti-government stuff.
All right, shit.
I need to come down and get a paperback copy of Belcher.
Yeah, you do. All right, I'll see you guys later.
All right,
peace.
All right. Take it easy.
Take care. Thanks for coming on.
Thank you, man. Appreciate you, Dan.
Yeah, thanks, Dick. Thanks so much.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Peace out.
Peace. So thanks guys for coming on. Everybody that's out there watching, thanks so much. Yeah, today was a really unexpected day. We came up here, Unfortunately, yeah, we had to do a little venting. I know there's a lot of people out there that are just incredibly frustrated. They don't know, what to do, where to turn. Yeah, and I think we all need to work together to work with our communities and enrich them, and start with compassion. So anyway, next week we've got another amazing guest. So make sure to tune back in. It'll be back on topic with more actual horror stuff. But yeah, you guys take care of each other. Be safe, be well. We love you. Have a good night.